Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along. We're just going to kick off in a couple of minutes. Before we get started, if you could just use the chat box on the right-hand side of the screen, just to let me know where you're from, and so I can say hi to you all. So I can see there's quite a few of you there now. Susie, hi to you. Hi, Simona. Deborah. Hi, Rachel. We've got Al. Can everybody hear me okay? If you can just let me know in the chat box that you can hear me, that would be great. Just letting you know that there's actually a bit of a delay. So there'll be a delay between what I say and what you hear when you hear it. So okay, so hi, we've got Val from Washington, Sophia from Toronto. We have Al from Halifax, Bev from Maryland, Susan from Boyce, I think it is. Thank you, Sophia. You can hear me. That's great. Simona, British Columbia. Okay, Susie from San Diego. Okay, we've got quite a few of you from all over the US and Canada, it seems, which is fantastic. So while we're waiting for a few more to join us, just letting you know that I'm going to run through just a little bit about who I am, what I've done. Okay, Deborah, you can't hear anything. Okay. Everybody else able to hear Deborah? Everybody else is able to hear me okay? Is that correct? You can just say you can. Yes, I've seen some people can say, yes, I can hear you. Yes, sound is good. Okay, so Deborah, I'm not sure. Maybe just check your settings on your computer. Just make sure your computer's not muted. And everyone else seems to be okay from a sound point of view. If anyone else is having sound issues, just let me know. Deborah, no, nothing. Okay. Okay, everyone else seems to be able to hear. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on, Deborah. I'm hoping that you can rectify. I'm just checking to see if there's anything that I can do from this point. I'm hoping you can work it out, Deborah. If not, I'll go through the presentation. You may be able to hear it on the replay, because we'll make the replay available after this. Also letting you know, if you have any questions, if you can just jot them down or put them in the chat box, and what I'll do is I'll answer them at the very end of the presentation, just to make sure that we have. Okay, Deborah, brilliant. You can hear me now. Very excited. That's great. And so everybody else seems to be able to hear me. So just in case you missed Deborah, I had just said there's a delay. So there'll be a delay between what I'm saying and when you hear it. And also, if you do have questions, jot them down, and I'll answer them at the end, but hoping that I can get across get through everybody's questions. And so we'll just kick off. I'm just going to make this screen bigger so everyone can see the slides. Okay, that's me. Where is it gone? Okay, one moment. Okay. Check on yours there. Okay. One moment. bit of a technical issue, but that's all right. Okay. So I seem to be having a technical issue on making my PowerPoint any larger. Oh, hi, we've had a few more people join the call since since my technical issues. So that's good. Welcome, Rosemary from Massachusetts, and Jen from Orlando, Florida. Just 1 second. Okay, everybody, I'm not going anywhere. Molly Gibbs, go to presenter view. Oh, okay, 1 second. Okay, everybody, I'm going to just make this larger so that everybody can see it. And if you have any issues, just let me know in the chat box. This should work, hopefully. Okay, if you can just confirm, can everybody see that now? That's large. Can everyone see that okay? If you could just let me know in the chat and just say yes, you can see it. Okay. Yes, fantastic. You can see it. That's great. Thank you so much. It's larger. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to kick off the presentation. So first of all, as I said, welcome and thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it to come along today to find out a little bit more about how to grow your business and to take it to a whole different level. I wanted to give you a little bit of background about me so you understand who I am and where I've come from. My name's Jackie Dernan. Okay, so it's not large, but it's visible. Okay, so hopefully you can see it. I've made it as large as I can, but I'll be talking through the points on the slides anyway. So if anybody has any issues or any questions, please let me know and I can answer them as I go. As I said, I'm Jackie Dernan. I'm a faster EFT practitioner, an EFT practitioner, matrix reimprinting, matrix birth reimprinting. I've done quite a few tapping modalities. Prior to this, I came from a corporate background, so I understood what it's like to be an employee under pressure. I worked very long days and experienced lots of stress and anxiety. I personally used tapping to help me with this as an employee, but this was only in the probably final year or two of my corporate career. What I thought was, imagine if employees in companies had access to this, how different life would be for them and the company's bottom line. So I began using different approaches to get meetings with key decision makers. And sorry, just one moment. Before I actually tell you a little bit about the corporate work I've been doing, let me tell you a little bit about me. So 15 years ago, I emigrated to Australia from Ireland after completing a degree in business and legal studies. This initial 1 year resulted in me meeting my now husband and applying for residency, and I'm still in Australia. I now am located in Noosa, which is just north of Brisbane. So along the way, I decided to write a book called Australian Baby Hands, which when we get to that slide, you will see it in the center of the screen. Now, the book I self-published, and to date, we have sold over 11,000 copies. I only have 9,000 more to go before I'm a best-selling author, and I'm counting. Baby Hands resulted in me establishing a franchise of baby sign classes around the country, which was a huge learning experience for me and quite invaluable. I learned so much from this experience, and also then, as well as doing that, I had a full-time job where I was working as a digital marketing person for a startup, and that recently got bought by Adobe. And then I headed up a search marketing department for one of the largest agencies in Australia called Group M. Now, while doing this, I began my study of tapping because I was so stressed out at work. I initially learned EFT and then moved and learned fast EFT and matrix reimprinting. So after making my move to Noosa, where I now live, I lived in Sydney for a number of years. I decided to make more of a transition into my hobby or part-time work as a tapper. What I learned quickly was the financial pressure to get people in the door, to bring you in an income. And I developed my business into 3 parts. I had personal sessions, consulting to health businesses, and then corporate health and wellness coaching. So now that you know a bit about my background, I want to spend tonight talking about it today for you, a little bit more about what this seminar is all about, working with corporates and tapping into that multi-million-dollar market. Okay, so I know that there's still a delay on the slides, so you're going to be a few slides behind. I'm just waiting to see if it's going to catch up a little, but it doesn't seem like it is. But so I'm just going to proceed, and you will see the slides as they come up. So in relation to working with corporates, as I said, because I came from a corporate background, I understood what it was like to be an employee and being under pressure and being stressed and anxious. And I personally, when I had the experience of using tapping, I understood how that impacted my day-to-day in my job and how much of a difference it could make, how I could not be reactive in the workplace, instead of be in the present moment. If somebody was affecting me at work, I could use tapping to understand what was going on emotionally for me, release that, and get back to my work. It resulted in me being more productive and less absent. So I thought, once I started making that transition into my tapping business, what if employees and companies had access to this, how different their life would be for them and the company's bottom line. I began using many different approaches to get meetings with key decision makers and worked out what these people like to hear, what sold them on this modality of tapping. And I began doing corporate workshops, getting feedback and tweaking my workshop. And what happened was the team leaders began noticing changes in their employees' behavior, their absenteeism from work, and their overall productivity. The results were fantastic. I went from charging a rate of around 150 Australian dollars per hour to a day rate of $4,000 per day with corporates. The big effect that had on me and on my business was it meant that I could do less private one-on-one sessions, or I could be more selective about who I worked with, and I could do more corporate one-on-ones. I began working less for more money, which gave me more time to do what I want to do and have more work-life balance. And the big thing for me was it just took a lot of the stress out, because when you're starting a business, you have to advertise and market yourself, and people need to know you, and word of mouth needs to start spreading. if you can take the pressure off by having a corporate client that's going to pay you 4,000 Australian dollars a day, once a month, and you know that you're getting $4,000 in, that's a huge release and a huge relief for you. So you don't have to worry so much about having to get the equivalent in one-on-one clients. Okay, so I just wanted to what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to escape from this for a moment and see if I can do something for this. So just give me 1 second and see if I can sort this out so you guys can be more up to speed with where I am. Hi guys, I'm back. So I was just trying to see if I could resolve the issue. So what I'm going to have to do is we're having an issue with the slides keeping up to speed with where I'm at. So I'm going to actually be moving in and out of this page. So you will, that way I'll be able to you'll be up to speed with where I'm at. So I was just about to talk about this slide, client testimonial. So I wanted to show you an example of some of the feedback that I've been receiving from clients in relation to the work that I've been doing. So this particular lady, she's a team leader. So she's got a team of about 10. And this is what she had to say in relation to a member of her team, or 2 members of her team. So Eva said, I have noticed 2 female employees have had a change in how they conduct themselves at work. One of the ladies was always very defensive when I had discussions with her about her role. I have noticed that since her sessions with you, she is less emotional and more self-managed. She's been asking me to do certain tasks, which in the past she would avoid. She is more confident to take on work, and when we have discussions, she listens to what I have to say and contributes without being defensive. I have noticed a huge improvement in her professional behavior. Another employee who has a lot going on in her personal life in the past would let it get in the way of her role. She would be sad and emotional at work and would need excessive breaks and days off. Since her sessions with you, we've noticed that she is more focused on her work while in the office. She isn't letting her emotions and personal life affect her job. Even when she talks to us about her personal life, we can feel she is more clear in her decisions. So this is what just one team leader noticed, and the effect of their employees. They would have attended a 1-day workshop with me, and then they individually had a one-on-one session. So as you can see, it's impacting not alone the individual, but it's impacting the overall dynamic of the team that they work in. So here's what just let me go back. So here's what another client had to say. So Wendy, she's a credit officer in a company that I worked in. So I met you in December 2014 when I was lucky enough to be booked into one of your training sessions, your Inner Power workshop. I found the course very informative and was open, eager to try new things. At the completion of the course, I felt exhilarated and looking forward to having a one-on-one time with you. That experience was even better. At the completion of the session, I felt as if a weight had been lifted from my shoulders, and my outlook, view on how I perceive things had been changed from negative to positive. I did have several fears that I have been carrying around since childhood that Jackie helped me work through. I now have renewed confidence and would recommend Jackie to enable her to help others. Now, Wendy was an interesting case because she had a fear of using lifts. She would not get into a lift. And she worked in a building that was 4 stories high. So anytime she needed to go up to the first, second, third, or fourth floor, she would actually use the stairs. After doing the session with her, she was actually able to use the lift, and it was a choice. She didn't have to feel compelled to use the stairs. So it had a huge impact on her day to day. I was able to help her release that fear for her. And she also had some other childhood fears that we were able to address that really, really changed the way Wendy felt. Sorry. Okay, I'm just checking that you guys are on the same slide. Fantastic. So mindset. Really wanted to talk to you about mindset because for me, this is a key part to, I suppose, the success of where my business is at right now. A really big part of it is understanding where your mindset is at and working on any limiting beliefs you have that's preventing you from charging $3,000 to $4,000 a day or whatever your figure is. And you may be thinking, well, maybe Jackie was born with this mindset, but the opposite is true. My father was unemployed for most of my life, and my mum was a stay-at-home mum. So if I can change my mindset, so can you. You just need to know how. And this is something that I like to spend quite a bit of time on, and this is something that I spend some time on my course to ensure that everybody is up to speed and feels 100% comfortable charging $4,000 a day. So something that people ask me all the time is, how much work is this going to take? How many hours do I need to put in? How many clients do I need to have? What's going to be involved to take my business to this totally different level? So when I think back, how much work will it take to find clients, to contact them, to meet up with them, to create presentations, to draft up proposals, to create quotes, to create workshops and product, all the material that you need for this? Well, when I did it, I invested a lot of time in each of these individual elements and to create the correct emails that generated interest in the client to meet me. I tried a number of different emails to see what would work. Even with phone calls, I tried a number of different, I suppose, phone scripts to understand what would work. I spent the time creating the correct proposals that would be approved and signed off. I learned what didn't work. When someone didn't approve a proposal, I found out why. I found out what it was in the proposal that they didn't like, and I tweaked it. I spent the time creating an engaging one-day workshop that added real value to the employees. And all of this resulted in some great quality material that's proven results and I've had some very happy clients from it. The good news for you is that you don't actually have to invest all this time. I've created a system for you that you can follow, and all you need to do is invest some time doing that system and using the quality material that I have to get the results, and it'll be that easy for you. It's like I've taken all the hard work out for you. So how many clients do you need? So different people will have different goals and different targets. It depends what your target is, and it depends what your baseline is now. If you charge $3,000, $4,000 per day, and you can secure one of these clients on a retainer, and by a retainer I mean that every month you're going into them for 1 day a month. That's the equivalent to some people's monthly salary, and some people would just be very happy with that alone. For some of you people, one client would be enough. Others, I would personally recommend having at least two, so that all your eggs are not in one basket, or to have one client on a retainer and then do some ad hoc corporate work. This is what I've done. I have one client on a monthly retainer, and then I do other ad hoc workshops and sessions for other corporates. And this way I don't need to work that much to create a great monthly income. And then I can be selective on who I want to work with. I do just do some sessions for free with some clients, and then I do some one-on-ones also. But it just changes the dynamic. It doesn't put so much pressure on me to have to bring in such an income from one-on-ones, because one-on-ones take some time to build up that word of mouth in your area. Okay, so how can I help you? So from what I've said, where I can help you is I created a great system on how to find clients, as well as creating lots of great resources, such as my email templates, my proposal decks, my quote templates, the IP for my 1-day workshop, literally everything you need to become a corporate health and wellness consultant. Now, to create this blueprint for the business, I've invested a lot of time, as I've mentioned, and energy. And the IP I present and offer you on my How to Tap into Corporates course is worth thousands of dollars. The 1-day corporate workshop that I present and offer you in the template for, I currently charge $4,000 a day for. So what I'm basically offering you is a corporate toolkit. I'll provide you with the blueprint of everything, and I'll help you work on your mindset to ensure that you are really ready to hit the ground running once you leave the workshop, and feel very comfortable charging whatever rate you want to charge for your corporate work. Oh. Okay, so what will we cover on the course? So on the course that I'm doing is How to Tap into Corporates. And for those of you that aren't aware, I'm actually currently in Ireland. I'm doing a course this weekend in Belfast. Deirdre McGuire is going to be there. There's quite a few others. And then we're heading to Canada and US. And in the 3-day workshop, what we'll be covering will be how to source corporate leads and lead generation tools. I'll talk through the exact formula I have used to secure meetings for clients. We'll talk through why you target companies and what corporates are looking for. We'll go through operations and systems for a corporate health and wellness consultant. So you'll have all the systems in place. There's nothing that you'll need to do. All the systems will be there for you. We'll go through marketing and branding for your corporate health and wellness business. We're going to go through dealing with rejection, because rejection is a part of this business, because not everybody is going to say yes to you, and you have to get comfortable with people saying no, because once you hear the no, you know that you're going to be one step closer to getting that yes. We're going to talk through money and what you're worth, and really dealing with any money issues so that you're comfortable charging what you need to charge at the end of the weekend. And you'll also receive all my personal material I use to create proposals and the presentations I use to run the workshops. So you're basically going to get access to a members area where you can download all this material the day after the workshop. You can put your logo on it, and then you can basically hit the ground running. It's basically a business in a box. Now, the total course value of this, it could be easily $10,000 plus for all this material. So the question is this for you? Is this opportunity for you? Well, are you looking to take your business to a totally different level? Are you someone who makes things happen? I'm actually looking for motivated people who are willing to work. I'm giving you everything I can to help you succeed, but there will still be some work to do. You have to contact the companies. You need to learn the system and work it. The question is, would you prefer to work 2 to 3 days work per month to earn the equivalent of 20 one-on-ones? So if you're motivated, want to work less and earn more, you've come to the right place. I'm looking for people to join my team. At the moment, I have a team that started in Brisbane and Melbourne. We're all part of the same team. We all know about how to tap into corporates. So if any of us now get a corporate opportunity where we need assistance, we have a team, and that's what we sell to corporates. It's not just one of us. There's a team of us internationally. And the question is, are you that person who wants to join this team? This workshop that I'm doing is by application only, and spaces are limited. And that's why it's done by application only, because we want to make sure that the right people are coming on board. So if this is something that sounds like you'd be interested in, now's the time to apply. Don't delay on this, because you may delay and then there may not be any seats remaining for the training. So your investment, people may probably wondering how much the 3-day course is. So for an investment of 3,000 Australian dollars, which I think is around 2,200 roughly US dollars, you get to attend an intimate training with me. And by intimate meaning, there will be no more than 20 people maximum in the room. The reason I do that is I want to make sure everyone's questions is answered. I want to make sure that everybody who attends leaves feeling 100% confident in all my materials and all my resources. In this intimate training, you learn everything you need to know to become a corporate health and wellness consultant, or a stress management consultant, or whatever title you want to give yourself. You'll gain access to all my intellectual property, including my templated emails, my processes, my proposal documents, the 1-day training, and we'll work on any beliefs that you have that may be inhibiting you taking your business to this next level. So for 3,000 Australian dollars, you can leave the workshop and get straight into selling your 1-day workshop and approaching corporates. Now, the best part of this is that you can make your money back in 1 day's corporate's work. The cost of this workshop, you could go out after the workshop, secure a 1-day workshop with a client, a corporate client, and charge them the equivalent of 4,000 Australian dollars. So you can make your money back quite quickly. So I just wanted to go through the upcoming dates. The dates we have, so the next one is in Toronto. Well, aside from Belfast this weekend, we've got Toronto, Canada, September 11th to 13th. We've got Houston on September 18th to 20th. And we've got Los Angeles, September 25th to 27th. And so it's a 3-day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The times are from 9 to 5, and we have an hour for lunch. And as I said, it's going to be an intimate training where we will review everything and make sure every single person in that room is 100% comfortable with the content that I'm covering, and that you're ready to join this international team of corporate health and wellness consultants. So what to do now? Well, I'm sure some of you may have some questions. Some of you may have decided already that this is right for you. And if you do feel it's right for you, I'm going to share a link with you in a moment, and all you need to do is click on that link and complete the form and send it through to us. Some of you may have some questions, and we're going to have some questions coming up for you coming up now. But what I want to do is just provide you with this link. So you'll see this link. There's the offer on the side, right-hand side of your screen. All you need to do is click that apply now and submit your details. We do have applications already in for all Toronto, Houston, and Los Angeles. So there are people who've already secured seats in all of those 3 venues or those 3 locations. if you are interested, please get your application in sooner rather than later. We have had some issues in other places where people have sent their application in and they've missed out on the opportunity. But what I'd really like to do is, now that I've gone through all of that, is check if anyone has any questions about what I've talked through. So Bev, you've asked, can we get a sense of the materials you provide? And so as I mentioned already on the presentation, you're going to get a couple of templated emails that I use to secure meetings with corporate clients. You're going to get templated quotes to use. You're going to get a templated PowerPoint presentation or a proposal to bring to your meetings that you can talk through with a client. You're going to get the templated PowerPoint one-day workshop. You'll get a schedule for that workshop on what you should do, when, and how long you should spend on each section of that presentation. You'll get feedback forms to hand out to your attendees. You'll get workbooks for your attendees that you just need to print off and put your logo on. You'll basically get, as I said, a business in a box. If there's any document that you don't think you have, and what we found is, of the people who've been in Brisbane and Melbourne, when they actually got access to the members area and saw how much content was in there, they were pretty blown away by how much content they had access to, and that they really didn't need to add to their corporate health and wellness business. Everything is supplied. All they needed to do was make sure that they had their website, their business cards, and they had their logo put on all my material, and then they could really hit the ground running. So I'm hoping that answers the question for you, Bev, and that gives you a sense of the materials. There is a whole members area that you'll get access to, as well as a Facebook group where all graduates of How to Tap into Corporates get access to. So you get to basically help each other out, and I'm there answering questions, any questions that you have in relation to an issue you may have, or you may be asked a question by a corporate you don't know how to answer. So we're all there to support each other. Okay. We were asked how much is it in US dollars. So it's around about 2,200 US dollars. So have we any other questions? If you have any other questions, just type them into the chat box, and I can answer them for you. So someone's asking, they want to work on their confidence and money blocks. And their fear that tapping may be weird to corporates. So we address this on my 3-day workshop. How do you sell tapping to corporates? How do you sell a 1-day workshop of tapping? How do you sell one-on-ones to corporates? We also address any fears or any limiting beliefs you have, whether it's relation to money, confidence of approaching a CEO, or approaching somebody who is the head of human resources, whatever that may be. So we will address all those issues for you. Just checking for any other questions. Just put them in the chat box and I will get to them. How do you book corporate trainings for those fantastic fees? So what I do is I go through the process with you on the 3-day workshop on how I approach corporates. I tell you what I've learned over the last year in relation to approaching corporates, the mistakes, I suppose, that I have made so you don't have to make them, and how to secure those meetings. Because I've refined my materials and I've got feedback from corporations on what worked for them, what didn't work, and what they liked to see and what they didn't like to see. Rachel, how much previous experience should one have before taking your course? So for me, it's not if you have had experience. Some people say, do you have to be a level 1, level 2, level 3? I don't believe it's about the levels. I believe it's about the person. I've had people who've been a level 1 practitioner and have come on my training course because they've decided that that's the way they want to start their business as a corporate health and wellness consultant. They don't want to start it as a one-on-one practitioner. Now, saying that, you need to be comfortable doing a session with someone, because on the course, the one-day workshop, you will be doing tapping. And if you do manage to secure one-on-ones with a corporate, you need to be comfortable doing one-on-ones. So what I've found is, for people who've done, for example, faster EFT, they've generally done between 30 and 60 hours of tapping. But when you submit your application, I ask you what's your experience of tapping, and I'll review that and have a discussion with you if I have any concerns. But to me, it's about an individual case-by-case basis, and it's not about the level. It's more about, are you the right person, and is this something that you're motivated to do? How many people attend a typical one-day corporate workshop? It depends on the corporation, but I seem to have, the majority of the one days that I have sold, I've had 8 people on the workshop. So some companies will just have like the leadership team or the senior management team. Other companies, they will put their whole department, whatever department they work in, through it. So, but I have others where we've looked at doing 10 and 15 in the workshop. Bev, when will you have the replay available? Well, the replay will be available from tomorrow. So we'll have the replay available, and you'll get an email in relation to that. We can take the workshop, Margaret. You've just said we can take the workshop without becoming a part of your team. Yes, you can definitely take the workshop and just learn what you want from the workshop and just work by yourself. Some people like the idea of having a team. So for example, I was speaking to a company that have 52 offices worldwide. Now, it would be physically impossible for me to visit all of those offices if that opportunity came about. So I've been talking to people that have come on my How to Tap into Corporates on would they be interested in teaming up with me. So yes, you don't have to join the team, but that could be a selling point for you for going into other corporations. Okay, Rana, so we will have this video emailed tomorrow. You'll get a link to this video tomorrow, Rana, that you can look through the webinar again and hear the presentation again. Yes, that's correct. So has anyone else any more questions? So I have a question from Nancy. Nancy would like to hear how you describe the benefits and results in language that the corporate clients values. So that's what I touch on and teach in the course, because it really is all about how you sell this to the clients. And I've tried many different approaches, and I've worked out what actually works, and spoken in a language that the corporations understand, so that you have a higher probability of getting a sale. Okay. Just checking for other questions. Travis, what is the best way to break into a corporate and group market? Well, what I would suggest is this system, because all the hard work is done for you. I tell you exactly how to find, because some people may not have any corporate experience and may not have any corporate contacts. So I have had corporate experience, but doing this system, I didn't approach anyone that I knew. And the reason I did that, some people might think that's a little crazy, but I did it because I wanted to see if this system would work without having corporate contacts. And it did. Any of the people I approached were people that didn't know me. And from that, that's how I tweaked my system and found out what worked. Sophia, what do I need to present and to whom to get hired by corporations? What paperwork or presentation do they expect to see? So depending on the organization, you could present to many different people. It could be the head of a department, it could be the CEO, it could be someone in talent management or HR. It really depends on the organization. So I talk through that on the 3-day workshop, the various people that you can approach and how to approach them and how to find them for an organization. Susan, do we have to have a website? Not necessarily, but I would encourage you, even if it's just a one-pager, just somewhere that they can refer you. A lot of the companies that I work with, they will have said they'll have checked out my website. So I would have just a one-pager, definitely, if you want to go into this. I just feel that it gives you more of a professional presence. So yeah, I would recommend that. Okay. Okay, so we have Rachel. What was your greatest success while using the system to approach companies? And what was critical to that success? Well, I've different, I suppose, moments that I would call successful. One moment was I was doing one-on-ones with a bunch of people in a department. And what was really interesting is they all had physical pain. So one of them had an earache, one of them had a shoulder pain, one of them had an elbow pain, another one had a leg pain. So they all had different types of physical pain. Some of them were popping medication every 3 hours. Others were unable to hear one side of the office because of their earache. Now, at the end of their individual sessions, all of their physical pain was gone. And there was a dramatic difference in that department for the rest of the day and the following day because people were more present. They were able to get on with their work and they weren't so worried or concerned about their health issues. And to me, that felt fantastic and really, to me, that was a success. And it felt really exciting to be able to facilitate that kind of change. Okay, Chris, do you recommend private corporations or government agencies? I would initially recommend private corporations because what I've found is private corporations would have a larger budget for health and wellness. I have a number of people who've done my course and they're looking at getting into like schools or government agencies. But what I suggest to them is to try and get a private client, a private corporation or one or two of those to support you, and then you could move into to government agencies. Also, I found with government agencies, it can be a longer sign-off process. So you may have to jump through a few more hoops before you'll be signed off. So I would do a balance of private and government if you wanted to go into government. I wouldn't go full, do 100% in government agencies. So just let me check for any more questions. Just might want to make sure I answer all of your questions. So Cheryl, I'm a coach and I specialize in trauma release and nervous system wellness. How can I best combine EFT matrix coaching in the corporate setting and get started right away in generating revenue? So on the course, I'll talk through that. So, you know, some of the practitioners who've been on my courses have done Reiki or they've done hypnotherapy as well as some sort of tapping modality. So I talk about how you can sell that into corporates and teach you how you can combine the two or how you could package it up to sell it into corporates and just making sure that you're speaking their language and that they can understand. Just checking to see. So we're just looking and just checking for other questions. Just 1 second. Any plans for you to come to the East Coast of the US for a workshop? Bev, at this moment, Toronto's as East Coast as I'm getting, and I know that's Canada. what I'm doing is, if people want me to come to a specific area, we need to try and secure at least probably 10 people, because by the time I pay for flights from Australia. So Bev, if you know of 10 people, whether they can be holistic practitioners, they don't necessarily need to be tapping practitioners. Let me know, and I'd be more than happy to come to the East Coast of the US. But at this stage, no, Toronto would probably be the closest for you. So I'm just checking for other questions. 1 second. Okay, so I think I've answered everyone's question. If there's any questions that I haven't answered, what I'll do is I'll be able to message you after the fact, and I could email you through a response. So I've just tried to get through as many questions as I possibly have. Thank you, Tony, for your thanks and good luck. Hopefully I'll get to see you on one of the courses at some stage. But hope you all enjoyed tonight's presentation. And if you do have any other questions, you can email me either through my website or that was probably the easiest if you just email me through the website. But thank you again for taking the time out this evening. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I will get to see you on one of the workshops, either in Toronto, Houston, or Los Angeles. I'm really looking forward to it. Don't forget to apply now. It's just on the right-hand side. If you click that button, remember, spaces are limited. This is your chance to really change your business, revolutionize it, make it a completely different business where you're earning a whole lot more and working a whole lot less, and taking the pressure off yourself. So thank you again. I will leave you with that, and feel free to send through your applications, and hopefully I will see you in the US or Canada next month. Thank you again for your time.